So to finish row 2, we need to do a single crochet stitch in the next stitch and then an increase stitch in the last hole. So let's rotate our piece again so we can see those V's, because that tells us where we want to put our hook. So we want to put our hook under the next available V, which is this one, this hole. So it should look like you've got 3 strands of yarn on the hook. Yarn over, pull it through just the first 2 loops on the hook so that you're left with 2 loops on your hook. Then yarn over again and pull it through both loops on the hook so you're left with only 1 loop on the hook. Now the last stitch in this row is going to be an increase stitch. So look at the rim again, look for that next available horizontal V and put your hook under there. It should look like you have 3 strands of yarn on your hook, and now you're going to yarn over, pull that yarn through just the first 2 loops on your hook, bring it up so that you have 2 loops on your hook, and those loops are a decent size for you to be able to easily pull the hook out. Yarn over again and pull your hook through both loops on the hook. That was half of the increase stitch because that was just 1 single crochet stitch. Now you need to make a second single crochet stitch in exactly the same hole to turn this into an increase stitch. So do the tugging method again to see what hole moves. That is the hole that you want to put your hook into, like so. Yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops on the hook so you're left with 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull it through both loops on the hook. Okay, so you have now done all of the stitches in row 2, and let's also count how many stitches there are to just double check that we did the correct number of stitches. So let's take a look at the rim of our piece, and I'm going to hold it vertically. So now we're going to talk about those horizontal V's, which now look like vertical V's. So the loop that's on your hook does not count as a stitch. The most recent stitch you just made is the V that loop traces back into. So row 2 should have a total of 5 stitches, so we should be able to count 5 V's. So here's V number 1, or really number 5, and then 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sometimes people get confused when counting stitches on a row because in the beginning it might not be so clear to you where the row ends, but see how there's like this horizontal nubbin at the bottom of this V? That means you've hit the end of that row. So if you look at row 2's pattern though, there still is something called a chain 1 and turn. That's just a yarn over, and then you pull that through the loop that's on the hook. And a turn literally means turning your piece. And it doesn't matter which way you turn it. All you need to do is turn it so that you actually have something to crochet into in the direction that you normally would. So if you're a righty, you're always crocheting to the left. And if you're a lefty, you're always crocheting to the right.